Hey everyone, what do you know? Two in a very short period of time. Welcome to the Barely Normal Wet Shaver. That would be me, Doug Bear. So this video is going to be yet another short one, but one that is shaving related. Specifically, a call out to a really great product. This is Catie's Bubbles Luxury Cream Base, and the scent is called Eau de Zeu, which I think is nearly right, and it means tea water. And it is a bergamot and black tea base, a wonderful light, very delightful scent, light in its its aroma, but in its strength I'd say it's probably in that middle range, 5.5, somewhere in there. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is to say that although it's easy to generalize about creams, sometimes there are those that stand out that are quite exceptional, and I think that Catie's is one of those. If I had shown you this base when I originally got it and held it up like this, and I've had this for about 3 months now and probably done over 20 shaves with it, and there's still lots and lots left. The product originally would have sagged. It was that soft. But in 3 months, leaving it open for 24-hour periods because I face lather to let it dry out, it has become a little bit firmer that it at least stands on its own when you hold it up like this. But in truth, I can simply dip my finger in there and the product comes out that easy. So what I wanted to do though is I usually froth or occasionally will face lather, and what I would normally do is just take the tips wet, drop it in here and just go boop boop like that, and that would be all I need from this product. But to give you a better feel for the quantity and what it can do, I'm going to go ahead and show in a bowl lather approach by taking a little bit out of here, and I'm going to take out a little less than an almond sized piece. So there we go. And I am going to dip it into this copper container and just spread it around, which is incredibly easy to do. And then take my brush, wet the tips like you normally would, and just start working it. And another thing that I noticed about this is that it can take a lot of water, like the harder crops or harder regular soaps. It just builds and builds and builds with the amount of water that you apply into it, and stays relatively rich and dense. I love the slickness of this soap. It's just something that maybe it's the way I make it, but I can't get over just how nice it loads up and feels so rich and yet also so slick. There's just some of those soaps that you run into that just take it to the next level, and I honestly feel that this is one of them. So if you take a look in here, you can see, in a relatively quick time, I've got a fair amount of product in there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to add a little bit more water and mix that up and keep rocking and rolling. I know I'm not good at this because I end up finding that 2/3 of my product ends up on the outside of the container, and this was a very small bowl, but it does say something about my inability to keep it under control when I do this, because I only do it a couple times a year. I'm just not a bowl latherer. I like to be able to apply it and work it into the face a little bit more. But in any case, I think that can show you that it gets very rich very quickly, and that there's a fair amount of product in there with very little in. So anyways, that's all I wanted to do, was just call out this really great product, and that if you're afraid to use a cream base thinking that you have to use an awful lot of product, there are those exceptions. There are those that should be noted, and I think Catie's is one of them. So if you get a chance, if you enjoy the scents that Chris makes in his assortment, and you want to try the luxury cream, please do so. And yeah, it does harden up over time, so it'll get a little bit easier to load in a more conventional way. But right out of the bat, now I'm having to adjust my face lathering approach by actually having to swirl a few more times because it has gotten a little bit harder, but no big deal. I love the feel of the stuff. I think it's a great product. And I just wanted to say, don't always judge by a general term. Sometimes there are those exceptions, and this is one of them. All right, till the next time, peace out, brothers and sisters.